So stage 2 of the New Zealand Cycle Classic about to get underway. 121 kilometres around the Gladstone circuit. 2 hill climbs, 2 sprints outside the Gladstone pub. The tour leaders, Aaron Gate from Black Spoke Cycling Academy. It's going to be another great day on the road and a day for the sprinters. They leave Marston and, as I mentioned, head out to Gladstone, 2 laps of the Gladstone circuit where they'll take in those 2 hill climbs and the 2 sprints before heading back into Marston. And the weather conditions, really cool for this time of year in the region. We're down to about 15 degrees, but no wind, so shouldn't be a lot to trouble the riders out there on the road, and we expect another bunch sprint.
As a cyclist, you're riding big distances every day. What are you eating for breakfast?
Definitely trying to get a lot of carbs in, so usually porridge, oats, that sort of stuff, get a bit of juice, toast into you, really get as many carbs as you can just to prepare for the day.
And do you get a lot of sleep?
Yeah, quite a bit. Always make sure I get at least 8 hours, but usually aim for like 10 hours of sleep.
So what are your thoughts on today's stage?
It should be pretty straightforward given that there's no real wind about. We left down the Black Spoke and probably St George to control, as Black Spoke will want to keep yellow and St George will want the finish for Kennett, so it'll be probably a small break will go away and just the usual sprint stage really.
And have you ridden this stage before?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, and I think there was a bit more wind to play then. It was a pretty hectic finish being as it's on a pretty narrow 2-lane road, but several breaks.
Yeah, yesterday's stage wasn't too bad. Actually, it was full gas for probably the first hour or so, and then seemed to settle sort of halfway through the race. Everyone stopped for a bit of a feed, and then it sort of ramped up towards the end, and it was pretty hard to go into the finish, and it was all about positioning and trying to hit that climb in a good position, that last hill. So it was good tough stage. Good to get the first one out of the way, and I'm looking forward to today.
Yeah, and good start to the year for your team?
We're pretty happy with yesterday's results. A couple of guys were pretty well placed, so we're sort of looking forward to not spending too much energy in the lead up to that the Queen stage and stage 4. So that's the plan at this stage. So we'll see how today goes, and hopefully all the boys get through unscathed today. And that's about it.
Thank you.
No worries. Well, the riders have had their breakfast, they've had their team photos, the sign-on is almost complete. And there they go, assembled, ready for the start, neutralised as they roll away from the Solway Hotel. Of course, this is their home for the 5 days of the tour. You see the peloton and Nick Kersgo, who had the misfortune of puncturing as soon as the gun went today. His back tyre went flat, felt the road, and now has a big chase on his hand to rejoin a very fast moving peloton. The nature of the course around Gladstone, undulating, it encourages riders to attack, to try and get away, but the high speed of the peloton is certainly going to make it difficult in the early stages of the race. You can see the peloton strung out, and there's Kersgo. He undoes the gilet, sits up, back onto the back of the peloton, the first part of his day. Well, after many tried, finally we got a breakaway of 5 riders, and they were pretty committed, working well together. In the break, Logan Griffin, who rides for the Capjack team, but today he's in the red jersey of most aggressive rider from yesterday's stage. With him, Mark Langlands, George Jackson, Patrick Burke, and Yenki Yamamoto of Canon. As we see them attack the hill climb, and Logan Griffin attacks on the outside. Wants those King of the Mountains points. He's going to get them. It's a long drag up here. It's not what we'd really call a mountain, but I tell you, the speed they've been going, you certainly fed them in the legs. And Griffin has gone on the attack, being very aggressive again. As we see the peloton coming around on the Gladstone circuit. Great aerial shot, strung out. They line up for the sprint, and it's going to be George Jackson. He's the one leading it out. Keep an eye on little Yamamoto. There he goes on the inside, but Jackson's gone down the centre of the road. He's being chased by Burt, the Australian, but it's going to be Jackson who takes it for the New Zealand Cycling Project team, riding in the colours of SBS. As we see a great aerial shot of the peloton, the arrowhead of the peloton, the convoy of cars behind the support vehicle, and of course the roads being controlled by traffic management, so they're riding in pretty much a closed road situation. As we see Burt, who's been strong on the climbs, picking up King of the Mountains points. George Jackson rolls through. Young man who lives in Wellington, or from Wellington, now resides in Cambridge. Yamamoto from the Canon, the Japanese team, has been a valuable contributor to the break. Logan Griffin, Mark Langlands, who knows these roads like the back of his hand, as we see the peloton starting to chase them down as they go round the Gladstone corner one more time. Good shot there as the peloton fighting for position at the back as the riders come up from their team cars with new water bottles for the riders, and we see the breakaway. Last time up the climb, and they'll start heading back into the finish in Johnston Street. Still working well together, the peloton hunting them down now, only around 30 seconds to these guys. They'll be caught at any stage as we see the peloton 2k to go. They pick the break up and it's Bridge Lane leading out, thinking about Jensen Plowright, the New Zealand team, as they come into the sprint finish. Who's it going to be? We'll keep an eye out for Nick Kyrgyz as well from Couplands. Lining up Kyrgyz, Jensen Plowright, Aaron Gatey's not in the air. This one, Plowright's in the middle. Going to the line, Campbell Stewart's going to come down the outside. Nick Kyrgyz on the inside, Plowright in the middle with a throw of the bike. It's close. We'll give it to the New Zealand rider, Campbell Stewart, the World Omnium champion, by a whisker.
Probably 40 or 50k or something into the second lap, and there was 5 of us. We just rolled off real smooth. It was real good. Everyone was doing their bit. Then we got over the last climb and sort of started to turn it on. We had a pretty good gap still, like 2.5 minutes or something, and it started to come down, and we got under a minute, and then me and Logan Griffin hit it, and we were just chopping off till sort of 8k to go, and they brought us back. So it was going to be a tall order to go to the line, but we gave it a good crack. So it was good.
I've done the circuit quite a few times now during these tours, so it was a bit cold to start with, didn't really warm up, and the bunch stayed together pretty much throughout the whole stage, and I think 5 guys got away at about the halfway point, and they were out there for about 40k, and then the bunch just brought them back, and it was a bunch kick for the sprint finish.
And you're just happy staying upright for the final few days?
Yeah, definitely. Being the first race of the season, there's lots of tension in the bunch, and best case scenario is being quite respectful of everyone's space and everyone's staying upright, so that's a definite positive.
I mean, we looked for the break earlier. It didn't look like it was going to go, so we definitely we changed our tactics, and we were always wanting to go for the sprint in the end, and so the break was able to be brought back by a couple of the stronger teams, and then we had a perfect lead out from the guys. It was pretty awesome. We got everyone going, and they slipped up the inside and then got me on the perfect wheel for the sprint. So all in all of the day, they went very well.
And so it goes hand in hand with your track preparations for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I thought I might have been lacking a little bit of the power today after just the second day on the bike, but it seems to be the form's coming up very quickly, and so a couple more days and no doubt a few more Ks in the legs, a few more sprints, and then I think we'll be good to go.
Yeah, no, it was a real good result. Boys dropped me off on the right wheels, and navigated the sprint and stepped up pretty early and was going pretty good, and then just saw my New Zealand teammate Campbell Stewart come over me, so yeah, it was close but not quite.
And it was after a pretty eventful start to the day as well, as soon as the gun went off.
Yeah, I had a bit of bad luck at the start. Got a rear puncture. I think just the wet conditions picked up something through the town, and had a puncture and had a hard chase back on. So yeah, I was pretty buggered for the first half an hour, and then had to fight pretty hard to get back on.
Here we go, confirming the top 3 placings. Campbell Stewart, Nick Kyrgyz, Jensen Plowright. They were followed in by Corbin Strong and Liam Walsh of Future Pro Racing. Logan Griffin takes the most aggressive rider for the second day. Boris Clark is in the Mitre 10 Mega Mastered and King of the Mountains jersey. Dylan Kennett wears the Wiz Wireless Points Leaders green jersey. And in the Fagan Motors Under 23 white jersey, it's Jensen Plowright. Plowright had a fantastic day when everything was reflected on, Aaron Gate was awarded the yellow jersey, but on countback, being on equal time, tomorrow's race will see Jensen Plowright wearing the Tour Leaders yellow jersey.